Philippe Gijsels. He's head of research and marketing at BNP Paribas Fortis Global Markets. He joins me now from the heart of the Eurozone crisis in Brussels. So what do you think? Is a bigger rescue fund the answer here?
Well, I think that might eventually help. What you see if you look at markets at the moment, markets were down in Asia. I see the futures in Europe and the US once again down. So it can change, of course, during the course of the day, but at the moment there seems to be some hesitation. And I think that the problem is a lot of plans have been floated already back and forth, but there is no agreement, not too much collaboration between a number of parties, namely the countries, the rating agencies, the ECB, so they all come out with different statements all the time, and I think that makes the market extremely nervous at the moment.
So we were talking earlier about the reasons for bond yields in Spain and Italy spiking in the last 24 hours. Is that down more to this concern, this contagion, this panic, or is it fundamentals?
Well, I think the two elements are clearly there. First of all, there is a contagion from Greece and Ireland and Portugal, clearly, and because there is uncertainty about default, not a default, whether the CDSs you buy on these countries will actually protect you. So if you want to hedge against systematic risk in the system, you're probably going to try to find another hedge, which then logically would become Spain or Italy. So that's clearly one element. Another element is there is also fundamental reason that in these countries are very high. There is uncertainty about these countries, and on top of that, the remarks that were made by Mr. Berlusconi on Friday were certainly not helpful. So there is a fundamental issue, but also clearly some issue of contagion.
How scary is this question of Italy? I mean, is it too big to save for Europe if it were to need it?
Well, it's on the one hand probably too big to fail, and on the other hand too big to rescue. So we've always said that the contagion should stop after Portugal, Greece and Ireland, because there everybody could say, okay, it's maybe problematic, but it's only 6% of the Eurozone. If you come to Spain, if you come to Italy, which is the third economy, of course, then of course we start talking about real money. So it's clear that it's not going in the right direction in this sense, and that the spreads in these countries widening becomes a problem in the sense that the debt load of Italy is quite big. So if they have to pay a higher interest rate on that debt, that will immediately start to hurt their budget. So it's very important, I guess, for policymakers across the board to get their act very soon together and then stabilize this before this runs another percentage point or so.
So, Philippe, if you had to give European Union leaders and the ECB a grade on their performance, on how they're handling this crisis, A through F, what would you give them?
Well, that's a very hard one. Overall, I do not think they're doing such a bad job. It's basically that you have to come up with a common solution for a very big problem. And I think that the problems that the Eurozone is facing are already long and already quite some time on the table. First of all, you have a political union, but they never managed to really get to some more sort of an economic union. So the differences in these countries are very big. And at the end of the day, this boils down to the fact that, and that's on a worldwide scale, that surplus countries like Germany, but also China, cannot make their currency appreciate, and then something has to give. So I think that on the sense of employment, in the sense of currencies, there is quite a bit of work to be done. And okay, it's very easy to criticize, I guess, the policymakers, but if you have this type of problem on your plate, it's not very easy to come up with a solution either, but still they will have to, and then they will have to do it fairly soon, because it's clear that things are spreading, and then they are moved beyond the point where everybody wanted it to go. So it's clear that it has to stop quite soon, basically.
All right, very diplomatic answer there from Philippe Gijsels. Thanks very much for being with us.